I can't help it. It's the way my mind works. So, here's a compromise. I'll put my side points in footnotes. If you love fun little detours like Dad and me, you can listen to them. If you find footnotes annoying, like John, or want to know what happened ASAP, like Mom, you can skip ahead or zone out. If you're undecided, you can try a few. Mix and match. So anyway, I was talking about the police. The fact is, I knew something was wrong. We all did. We didn't want to call the police because we didn't want to say it out loud. Much the same way I'm going around and around now, fixating on this peripheral issue of calling the police instead of just saying what happened. Here goes. My 50-year-old father, Adam Parson, is missing. At 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020, he and my 14-year-old brother Eugene hiked to the nearby River Falls Park. The same as they had done most mornings since I'd been home from college for the quarantine. We know they made it to the park. Witnesses have come forward, a dozen hikers and dog walkers who saw them together at various points around the waterfall trail as late as 11:10 a.m. At 11:38 a.m., we know the exact time from the dashcam recording, Eugene was out of the woods, running in the middle of a narrow country road in our neighborhood, forcing a driver who'd run through a stop sign and turned too fast to swerve into a ditch to avoid hitting him. Just before the dashcam video jolts from the crash, you can see a fuzzy Eugene, not stopping, not turning, not even looking at the car or at anything else, just stumbling a little, so close to the car you'd swear he got hit. The screech of the tires and the sound of the car thudding into the ditch, not to mention the chain reaction of the two cars behind it, apparently caused a terrible cacophony of metallic crunching, banging, and squealing that brought people out. And bystanders reported seeing a boy they later identified as Eugene staggering away. It bears note that not one of the 5 bystanders, 3 drivers, or 2 passengers involved in the crash saw my father precede, follow, or accompany Eugene. We confirmed this multiple times, and it is beyond dispute. Eugene was in our neighborhood, alone. While all that was going on, I was in the midst of what I was thinking of as one of the great tragic moments of my life. It's funny how relative these types of judgments are, how much they can change depending on context. That day has obviously since become the day Dad disappeared. But if you'd asked me that morning, I'd have sworn it was the day of the big breakup. Not that it was as dramatic as all that. The breakup itself had, unbeknownst to me, happened earlier through Vic's semi-ghosting, which I'd noticed, but misinterpreted as him needing alone time. This was my first serious relationship, as in one lasting more than 6 months, and I thought I was being considerate and stepping back rather than nagging for attention and insisting he open up to me and bare his soul or whatever. But what I was apparently actually doing was failing a test of some sort. How much I cared, how much our relationship meant to me, etc. That morning's call was merely a courtesy notification of the results. I listened quietly to Vic's trying a little too hard to be cool, matter-of-fact conclusion that he thought it best we remain separated because I obviously didn't care all that much, and it occurred to me that this call was yet another test, which I could pass by acting upset and saying, "Of course I care," and "It's just the quarantine and the agony of being apart, the angst of isolation, blah, blah." But I don't do drama. Also, I was pretty pissed that this guy who usually extolled my refreshingly low-maintenance lack of game playing was playing one himself and expecting me to participate and excel. It was juvenile, insulting, and frankly more than a little deceitful. Which is exactly what I said as soon as he stopped talking, right before I hung up. I believe in saying what you're thinking, as much as is practicable. I threw my phone across the room. Hanging up on an iPhone isn't nearly as satisfying as slamming down an old-fashioned phone like our kitchen landline. And besides, I had an industrial-strength titanium phone protector. But damned if it didn't land on my plush comforter.